this cancer and I don't have long to live. He didn't take it seriously. He kept working, and I was like, I set him down one day and was like, listen, you need to start preparing. You gotta, take some time off and spend this time with your mother because she's not gonna be here much longer. He's the only child, spoiled brat, and he just didn't want to hear it. But he ultimately stopped working and spent the remainder of her days with her, and he couldn't bounce back from that. Like he started. Um, displaying some behavioral health issues and started having some substance use disorder and all of these things. And I stuck with him for as long as I could. But in 2022, for my birthday in September, I chose me, and I was like, "Yo, you gotta go. One of us gotta go. We can't keep doing this together." So that was a breakup that everybody always says, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Don't be sorry. I should have been out of the situation, right? The best thing that I could have done was leave that situation. But through all of that, all of those experiences, I never really got involved. And then in 2004, um, I was wrongfully convicted of a crime of embezzlement. I was working at this job with this young lady who had been there for 6 years. I was hired for about 2 years, and I was the assistant to her. I didn't know her outside of work. Like we didn't have any type of relationship outside of work. I ultimately got laid off, and it's important to know, like I got paid unemployment, which means that there was no wrongdoing on my part. And then I decided at that time in 2003 to return back to school, get my college degree. I was traveling back and forth because I had 3 kids under the age of 5. And one day a detective came to my house and left a note for me to, get in touch with him. They caught this girl red-handed, and this was like 2 years after I had left the job. They caught her red-handed. She was destroying paperwork, um, and when she got caught, she pointed the finger at me. There was no other like proof. Like there was no extra spending, like looking at my bank accounts, there was nothing. But because this white lady said it wasn't me, it was her, and I was the only black employee in the establishment, it went to court. And after 3 day trial, I was convicted based on this girl pointing the finger at me. Now she went to prison because this was her second fraud offense. And it just was a mess. I was sentenced to probation. I was sentenced to 5 years of probation. Um, and I ended up being disenfranchised for 9 years, which means I lost my voting rights. I lost the ability to serve on a jury or be a notary public or run for public office. And I started like learning this system. And most people don't start to learn it or think about it until they get caught up in the system. And I was angry. I was angry about all of the injustices that were happening inside of these cycles of this massive system that's mass incarceration. And I started breaking down like everything that could be done to kind of fix it. So reluctantly, I started this organization in 2016 to benefit other people because I was self-employed. It really wasn't about me. um, I wanted to help other people. And our organization is probably one of few, like we're a rarity that kind of leads with dignity, and have all of our board members have lived experience, have been incarcerated, or have loved ones who have been incarcerated. And that's how we kind of came together. Like that's how it really impacts me. And I'm probably one of the leading voices in the state on criminal justice reform. And a lot of people who are like with this tough on crime thing hate to see me coming. Not just because I fight for reform, but because I am a dual survivor. Like I've experienced losses. I've experienced massive losses. We're probably at, I can't even tell you the number of people that I've lost in the past 3 years, but it's more than 20. We're preparing to bury one of my cousins this week. Monday, we found out that he passed. So it's not just it's not just about me, and it's something that I can approach from different angles. Like I had to like work to abolish the death penalty in the state of Virginia while having two loved ones who were killed and had a death penalty eligible case. And that really takes you being in a different place on your healing journey to like really believe in redemption and justice, and um, making sure that the greater good is kind of met. That was a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to ask real quick, did the what fighting to reverse the death sentence in Virginia, what was the outcome of that? Like what did you have to